All right, hey, welcome back. So this is part 3 of a 3-part series where I'm using my Whimsical Birds and Poppies collection as a free download and just showing you some of the fun things that you can do with it. So in this video, we are going to make a bookmark to go along with this little journal that we've made from one of the folios, and you can see we've got some cute little pockets in here. I put a little mini envelope. In the last video I made this tag to go inside, and so in this third part we're going to make a bookmark. So there are a few options for making bookmarks. One, you can get real creative with your supplies like we're about to do. Another option is to use the bookmark sized strips that come in the ephemera pack, and I just glued this onto a piece of like empty noodle box. So I just glued these on and then poked a hole with a hole punch and then put some little tassels through. So super cute, easy. And this one's going to be a little bit more involved. So for this one, let me get my parchment paper here so I don't make a huge mess on my desk. I'm going to just play around a little bit and see what comes out of this. But I've got my bird stamps that I'll link to in the comments. And these are the Tim Holtz. I think they're Tim Holtz. Words. I got them at Joann, so Joann no longer exists, but I'm sure you can find some somewhere. And then got a couple of stencils to play with. I've got my gelatos to play with, a piece of coffee dyed paper, and then I have some of the papers from the collection and our fussy cuts. I'm gonna see if I want to use a fussy cut. I don't know. We'll see where we go with it. And I have a few pieces of this ephemera as well. So I'm gonna kind of see where this takes us. But let's get started. So I have just a piece of cardstock here. Not sure how big it is, but it's about bookmark size. So you know, it's not an exact science. Let's see. So I'm thinking I want to maybe start with some of the gelatos on here. And I was thinking I would play around with some of the blues and pinks and red. Let's see. Long wish. I think it's a little bit too dark. That blue is really dark. Maybe this green. All right. So let's see. Actually, I haven't done this before. That's cool. All right, but you know what I think I might want to do is instead of doing that, let's get these wet. Let's color on them and then get them wet. I went ahead and cut out 2 have my fussy cuts, which I'm actually going to do around the edges a little bit. Give it a little definition. Kind of a little wet, but I think it might add some character, so I'm gonna go with it. This little bird is so cute. Adorable. All right. Here we go. Cute little birdie. Okay. And I think I actually want to use my bird stamps too. I think this one just want to stamp a few times. That's a little bit cool. One more up here. All right. And then my next piece is going to be a piece of coffee dyed paper. I don't know if it's necessary to do the edge of this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I think I want to glue this down about there, and then before I cut that, all right, I want to use this. That's not the original plan, but that might be the plan now. So I think I might like that. Maybe I just want the little bird. Oh. Do a really bigger piece. Bigger. I think I might like that better. Wipe up some of my water here. I feel like it needs something. All right, I think I like that. Next steps are going to be to use a little bit of gouache, a little bit of white gouache. You could also use acrylic for this if you wanted to, but I really enjoy gouache. It's probably way more than I need. I'm going to water it down a little bit. And give it a stir. I think that's pretty perfect. All right, so I'm going to do that last. I want to see if this will work. There we go. I've got just a watercolor, black watercolor pencil here. And I just want to go around and define this a little bit. Maybe a little sketchy. I've got a little paintbrush here. I'm just going to go around. There we go. I think I like that. A little bit. Smudge. There we go. All right. Paper. Go. All right. Let's see. I like that. There we go. All right, so we're gonna dry that, and then I'm gonna get my hole punch and put a little ribbon in. All right, so that's dry, and I decided as I was drying it that I want to also add just some like little gold dots with my paint pen. A little more interest. There we go. I like that. All right, so this is dry, and now I need to do the back. And so I think I'm just gonna put this on, use my glue stick. There we go. I think that looks really cool. All right. Maybe any hole punch. And all right. So I found some lace in my stash, and I think this one is really pretty. And will go really well if I can pull my scissors again. There we go. All right. Okay. Put that through there. I think I want to tie something around that. I found some kind of off-white thread. And think I just want to wrap that around a few times. Perfect. All right. I really like that. Turned out super cool. All right, so here is the finished bookmark. I really love it. I think it turned out so cute. So here's the finished product. You can watch the other two videos on how I had put this all together. They'll be linked at the end of this video. And we made a tag, we made this little journal, and we made a bookmark to go with the whole thing. So you can find the link to download this free kit in the description, and I'll see you next time. Bye.